Are you looking for inspiration on a daily basis? Then check out Deal to Heal Teas. With our inspirational teas, you're sure to find something to inspire you. That's dealtohealteas.com. Put some inspiration in your situation. Wear inspirational tea and be inspired all day. Let's go to dealtohealteas.com. Again, that's dealtohealteas.com. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this podcast, then I know you enjoy the Girl Dad Discussion podcast. I'm your host, Ernest James, and I believe the relationship between a daughter and her father is one of the most important relationships a young lady can have. And therefore, my mission is to promote the daddy-daughter relationship by sharing the voices of girl dads to the world. So check out our podcast on every platform where podcasts can be listened to. And if you want to watch the podcast, check us out on our YouTube channel. Again, that's the Girl Dad Discussions podcast with your host, Ernest James. Welcome to Deal to Heal with E. James podcast. On this podcast, my guest and I will discuss topics and ways to help us to heal in every area of our lives. I believe that everyone can live a life that is happy, healthy, and whole. So I'm on a mission to help people to deal, heal, and fulfill. Deal with your problem, heal from the pain, and fulfill your purpose. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Deal to Heal with E. James podcast. I am your host, Ernest James, and I believe that everyone can and should live a life that is whole, healed, and healthy. And therefore, I'm on a mission to help people to deal, heal, and fulfill, to deal with your problems, to heal from the pain, and to fulfill your purpose. Thank you guys once again for tuning in to the Deal to Heal with E. James podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you guys check us out. Listen, like, subscribe, and share to our podcast on all of our social media platforms. Also, make sure you guys check us out on our new YouTube channel, which is the Deal to Heal Podcasting Network, because now we have more than one podcast. And so we're bringing you multiple podcasts, including the Girl Dad Discussions podcast, in which we talk about the relationship between dads and daughters in order to combat the narrative of the absent father and the fatherless daughter. And also the Deal to Heal with E. James podcast is also there too. And we do have some other podcasts coming in the future. So make sure you go subscribe and watch us on our new channel, the Deal to Heal Podcasting Network. Make sure you guys check that out. So today, just like any other day, we are blessed with the guest, a return guest, actually. So, Taron, how you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I can't call it just another day. How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm good. First of all, I want to say thank you for being on. Because you could have been doing anything else with anyone else, but you're here with me, and I definitely appreciate it. Definitely being a return guest. You know what I'm saying? So to all my listeners, Taron was a guest on the Girl Dad Discussions podcast, where we talked about, his relationship with his daughters and just everything surrounding that. And so just as a flashback, I'm gonna ask you the two questions that I ask every girl dad when I have on. What does it mean for you to be a girl dad, and what is something that your daughters have taught you?
What it been is the girl dad. I don't know if I said this on this podcast. Last time I was on the podcast, you know how life is. It changed. So what I see today is I see being a girl's dad, man, is exciting. It's ups and downs. It has everything. It's life. It's knowing that she's gonna be a woman. So it's very ups and down, man. It's really ups and down, man. And what I learned is my daughter brought me peace. My daughter had made me want. After I had my first daughter, man, I got to thinking that the world had to be peaceful. All war had to stop. Stop making guns. Stop shooting each other. No more people fighting. Hey, I'm thinking that the world got to be peaceful and more peaceful. And I just personally felt like, dang, I don't know how people can have daughters and not feel the same way and not feel like, dang, we need to make this world more peaceful so our daughters won't get hurt. So I don't know. So being a girl dad has given me that extra view in life that everybody deserves peace and peace this and peace that, man. And hey, it sound crazy, but that's what it really did to me.
No, it sounds right on because one of the things that our daughters do for us as men and as fathers, it allows us to express our emotions or even come into contact with our emotional side, right?
Breathe.
So, we probably never thought about, peace or what that meant to you until you had someone that you put more important than yourself and you wanted all those things for them. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely hits right on. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I said, hey, everything needs to stop, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So to my audience, make sure you guys go again to the Girl Dad Discussions podcast and
And it
check
was a
out
dope one.
Taron's episode there. Whether you check it out on YouTube or check it out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and we even on Audible too. So if you do audio books, where you can look us up on Audible. Girl
Can
Dad
I touch on the story
Podcast.
about that though? How,
Yeah, go ahead.
man. So I hit up James on here because I follow him on Facebook, and I'm very supportive. So I support people who got the same. I support all black people, but especially if you got the same you the same business category as I am. So
Mhm.
I was like, well, let me get on your podcast, and I saw this one first, Deal to Heal, and I'm like, ooh, man, I got a story to tell, man. I got a story to tell. It's like because people see me now. And if they don't know me, they be surprised where I came from. But people who been knowing me, they be like, "Wow, bro, that's the whole 360, 720." But so I was trying to get on this podcast, y'all. But somehow, some way, I end up getting on a Girl Dad podcast. And at first, I'm like, "Dang, man, I ain't want to be on this one, bro. I want to be on the other one." But soon as the conversation started, and after I saw it drop, I said, "Man, it was divine, bro." It was by God or whoever you claim and whoever you practice to be. It was by the divine purposes that I was supposed to be on that show. So y'all check that show out, man. It was definitely I definitely had a great time, and it gave me another perspective on being a girl dad, and it also was like, man, he's shedding light on this, man. He really showing people how it is, and me expressing that to you, it kind of was like you was my therapist.
Yeah.
so I definitely appreciate that show, man. It took me by shock, man. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you liked it, man. I definitely had a great time talking to you about it. Definitely I always have a great time talking to other girl dads and talking about that experience of being fathers and really being active in the lives of our daughters. Right. So I definitely love that conversation. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that the name of that podcast episode was Cookies and Milk for Everybody. Because I
Yeah,
thought that was a line that you said in there. Because going back to what you said, you wanted peace. You know what I mean? Your daughter made you want peace for everybody. And I think one of the things that you said, I ain't gonna say think, I know one of the statements that you made was cookies and milk for
for
everybody. And so
everybody. Yeah,
that's what I
yeah,
named it.
I love that, man. I was cracking up when I saw that. I said, that's a nice title too. They like, what, man, cookies and milk for everybody. So yeah, that was dope.
Good, man. I'm glad you like it, man. But we are here on the Deal to Heal podcast because we want to talk about
Yeah.
another side of you. You know what I mean? That we didn't get to talk about on the other side. So do me a favor, introduce yourself to my listeners and tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay, my name's Taron. Uh, People call me Tip. Some people call me Roni. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an activist. just today, I just spoke at a school today. So I'm a public speaker. I have a podcast called Leading Your Lineage podcast with my co-host and cousin, Sean Washington. Shout out to Cuz. I have a clothing line called The Original People, baby, and we back up on it, man. I'm about to graduate here in 2 months. I'm a father of two girls, two beautiful girls. My oldest and my youngest are girls, and my middle child is my twin, my son. Shout out to my son. I love him. And I've been married for about 8 years. Been with my wife for 10. Knew her since 7th grade, man. And man, she really my core, man. If it wasn't for her, I legit would be dead or locked up. And I really mean that. I really mean that, man. So yeah, that's a little about me, man. Everything I do. I got a book coming up. I homeschool my kids. I got a book on that. My son is only 3 years young. He's already writing. My daughter's 6 years young. She's already reading and writing paragraphs on her own. All type of stuff, man. So yeah, man, that's a little bio about me. And I'm part of BMG, baby. Shout out to Black Man Group, baby. I ain't gonna forget about y'all, baby.
I love it. I love it, man. So let's go back a little bit, Taron, because you mentioned a couple of things that you do, even the Black Man Group, which is a male mentor group, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
correct? You
yeah.
know, and so you mentioned about different things that you are now, but there was a different version of you at one time, right? And
Yep.
so a lot of times people don't get to see or hear about, the version of you that you came from. So tell us a little bit about your backstory, and even what prompted you to even become the person that you are now, to even be a mentor and a father and a husband and all those things.
Okay. I come from a single parent home. Shout out to my mama. She raised me. Shout out to my grandma, my mama, my auntie. They all raised me, so I come from nothing but, I felt like I was the man ever since I can remember. I used to be in the streets heavy. I mean, I didn't fully get an understanding to what I wanted to do till I was about 26 years young of age. Prior to that, I was in the streets, man. I was deep in the streets, man. I was selling drugs, on drugs, doing everything. I mean, I was on man, dog, man. You said just go in, right, man?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm gonna start off young, bro. I'm gonna start off at young, man. I was already in the 3rd grade, man. I got caught with some bullets at school, man, and it was just all I can remember being young. It was my surroundings, I believe. It was my surroundings. It was my lifestyle at the time. It was my home. So the things I saw, I feel like kind of made me be the person who I was at that time. Instead of understanding and evaluating what was going on around me, I became what was around me. For instance, I can give a story on that. What I mean by that, I never forget this story. But it was me and my brother, man. We was hungry as hell, man. I was at my dad's house. We was hungry as hell. We ain't ate in we was fucking eating butter and toast, man, for like a whole damn week, man. Whole damn week. Stomach just hit the back of your rib, bro. That's a different feeling, bro. That's the different feeling, man. And we looking around, and where we was at the times, we was in the hood, man. So everybody who was eating and people who was having pizza and shit, pizza parties, they the people who robbing, selling drugs, doing these type of activities. You know what I mean? Scamming, doing whatever they do, these activities. So that's what we did. We had a rob to eat that night. We robbed a couple pizza places. Man, and food and just for food. And I'll never forget. That's how I really started and really went down a snow hill. That was like my first story that I can remember. I'm like 11 or 12 around that time that I can remember, and that's when it really started to get real for me. That's when it really start. I start losing friends. I start being on drugs. I start seeing a lot that a child probably shouldn't saw. But that's what I definitely remember. That story right there was the beginning of it, man. So when you say take people back to where I'm coming from, and I'm coming from a single parent home, trying to learn who I am, and that's what motivated me to help these kids because I've been the kid in and out of juvenile. I was on a run from 2013. I graduated in 2013. And I wasn't even supposed to graduate. End up being on a run that same year, all the way to 2017. And that's a horrible feeling, bro. Being on the run and can't get a job. I had to turn myself in 2017 because I started to want to change or something, get something out of it done, and it was just still kind of slowing me down after the words, and it was just too much, man, at that time, man. A lot to explain, but yeah, man. So that's just a little start, man. That's just a little start. That's why I preach and give value. Well, not only when I'm with BMG, when I'm representing Leading Your Lineage, when I'm representing myself, when I'm representing us as Black people. Like I said, I'm an activist. I'm really out here doing what's positive for the community, and it's coming from an understanding of a point of view that I used to be that kid. And I understand why most of these kids out here, they misguided, don't have a parent in the house. I want people to really look up the statistics of a full household versus single parent household. It's really huge differences, man. And if we really understand that, we can understand how to slow this cycle down. All my brother got life in the penitentiary. My uh my the man who raised me, but he brought trauma, and I'm gonna get into that. He brought trauma at the same time, so it kind of scarred me. The man who raised me got life in the penitentiary. My uncle got killed. Uh, my cousin got life in the penitentiary. He's on the count. He been serving 30 years, and he still got who knows how long. Man, so it's not only my friends who dead and locked up, it's my family, you know. So it's like I gotta help these people. I don't want people to go through this. Seeing people with their friends and their friends get to go to their marriage and get to see their friends grow up and watch their friends' kids grow up and y'all get to see each other grow old beards and y'all beard turn gray. Sometimes I get sad and be like, man, I wish me and my friends got to do that. I wish me and my brothers got to do that. Like so that's my biggest what's holding what I feel like that keeps me motivated, man. I said, I lost 95, probably more than 95% of my friends, man. I got pictures of people that everybody in the picture is dead and locked up besides me. So it kind of fucks me up sometimes because you get that survival guilt. You know, you be like, damn, what made me survive and get to this point, but nobody else. But besides that, man, it's that's what drives me. So no other kid will have to go through that. No other adult, no other Black person, no other Black male, no matter what your age is, no Black sister, no matter what her age is, will have to go through this in life and have to experience it. It's not a cool experience. Like I told the kids today, the biggest thing that helped me is when I learned who I was. After I learned myself, I couldn't do myself like that. I couldn't harm myself in any more way. I couldn't put myself in any more danger because I love myself different now. And I feel like that's missed. That's missed. Everybody's always trying to teach our kids. But what's most important is we got to teach people and help people who you guide. And even if you're a guide like me, you helping guide the youth, you got to keep teaching these everybody. We got to pass this message that you got to get to know yourself. There's a lot of people who are here harming and killing and all of this stuff. They got trauma. They hurt themselves.
Yeah. I want to go back to something that you said because you were mentioning about losing your friends and even family members that's currently serving time and things of that nature. But one of the things I know just from how this conversation even started is that you're big on family, and you talked about
Yeah.
your wife and you talked about your kids, and your sons, and even being with your wife for 10 years. So how important now, even with those family members that, maybe away, but that core family that you have now, and even those that family members that you are still with, how big a part is family? Do you believe in general to everybody? And then how important is family to you?
Family is I feel like family in general for it should be important for everybody. Who runs the world, who really runs the world is not Jeff Bezos, it's not Elon Musk, it's not none of those rich people. This is facts. The people who run the world is family. Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they the people who run the world. So if you really the all the successful businesses, Walmart, um, McDonald's, all these places are family owned. They're not self-owned. They're family owned, meaning a family owns them, not just one person. So if you're trying to get to any riches, man, you kind of want to bring your family, and that's statistics shows, man. So that should be for everybody. But far as that, family also, me and my cousin, my co-host, he my cousin, so I'm actually living this lifestyle that I'm talking about. I'm starting a business with my cousin. He my second cousin. He's not even my first cousin. He my mama first cousin. But I treat him like he my brother. So family to me is very important because it's the core. Family, like I said earlier, if you go and see these people who hurting people and all of this, and most people who in the penitentiary or who got killed and died young, if you look at them and what was going on, you'll see most time they come from what? Broken families. When I go to these schools and I'm speaking to a lot of people who get in trouble, they come from what? Broken families. You do a lot. I be seeing you when you be up with your stuff, what you doing, and you give me your community time. Most of them young people you talking about and you trying to help, they come for what, brother? Broken families,
Yeah.
man. So if it wasn't that important, it wouldn't be the statistics that's showing how important it is. Like I mentioned before, I come from a single parent home, and I really realized how different it is. Because my cousin, he comes from a two-parent home. He had his dad and his mom, and I can just tell the difference, man. How we was raised and how we came. He wasn't in the streets. He was in the sports, and he was more civil minded. He got he graduated from college, so he had more of that understanding more of life than I did. I had to figure it out my damn self.
Right.
So family family can get family is the cheat code in life.
Yeah, and I know that to be true. Just even setting that foundation from which you build your life on, when you got that solid foundation. Because I myself also come from a two-parent household. My mom and dad was together my whole life. Until my mom passed away. And my dad's still here. But those memories and that solid foundation in which all of us. I got 8 siblings. Which all of us had to draw from. Like we didn't necessarily have to figure it out for ourselves because
Yep.
my dad was there to guide us, my mom was there to guide us, and so we had that landing pad, what I'm saying, to take out from, even when it came to life ourselves, and the things that we had to go through. But even, even with that, having both parents, there still were some challenges and stuff that we had to go through. I'm currently writing my book, and one of the stories that I tell in my book is how my dad used to work for the phone company,
Yeah.
years ago, and that was a good job at that time. He ran the phone lines and stuff inside the buildings. And
Hey man, you showing your age, man.
hey, man, you see how this gray? You see how this gray? It's all
I'm
right.
messing with you. I'm messing with you.
But yeah, and so he had a good job, and we was like I would say upper middle class. What I'm saying, at one point, and we was good, and through some circumstances that I was real young at that time, so I don't really know all the circumstances that happened. I know we had moved to another state before we came back to Illinois, but when we came back to Illinois, they didn't give him his job back. You know what I'm saying? And so we end up losing everything. You know, some going from having our own house and cars and a camper where we should take vacations and stuff to my mom and dad and their 9 children sleeping in one bedroom in my grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? And so just even those struggles from going from, you know, like I said, middle class lifestyle to now you're literally poor, you know what I'm saying, living in your whole family in one bedroom. You know what I'm saying? But it was with that family and those values that my mom and dad still instilled in us, and you know, staying together until they was able to, you know, get their feet back under them, and you know, we end up moving and going, you know, getting our own house and all that stuff over again. But there was some years, it took some years to build that back up, you know. But that family foundation definitely was built for all of us, you know. And so I want to go back a little back to some of the things you were saying too, and some of the things that affected you. And you mentioned about, you know, not only selling drugs, but then getting on drugs yourself to an extent. So tell us a little bit about, you know, that healing journey that you went on again to become the person that you are, you know, today.
Man, oh man. I'm gonna go into my drug addiction real quick. I used to be addicted to. I used to be addicted to lean, real bad lean. Sipped it every time I could, and I was heavy on pills. I remember it was a point in time. Me and my little brother, he probably would take like 4 to 8 a day. I was taking like 8. Excuse me, y'all. 8 to 12 rollers. These are when there was rollers back in the day. Skittles, perhaps. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, I would be rolling all day, every day. I used to also smoke PCP, wet, whatever y'all. I don't know what y'all call it in Illinois. You know, everybody got their own thing.
Yeah, yeah, I got that on slang.
Yeah, yeah. So we call it wet over here, which is PCP. Um, I was addicted to all these drugs, man. Xanax, all of these, and I did them every day. It wasn't a day I wasn't high. I mean, I say, from, hmm, I say I probably really started popping pills heavy around 7th grade. So from 7th grade all the way to I was like 24, 24, 25. I was popping pills. Popping 24. I say 24. I say 24.
What what
Pop,
made you want to even start experimenting, you know, with the drugs?
um, to be honest, man, to get high, I have no idea, man. Now that I look back, I was facing a lot of shit that I didn't want to admit to. I was going through a lot. I was losing a lot of friends. I was seeing too much, and now that I look back at it, I'm like, I was escaping. At the time, I didn't think I was escaping. I thought I was just getting high, and it was an addiction. So it was more like, man, I just like getting high. I just like sipping lean. Now I'm looking back at it, and I'm going through, and I got to heal myself today. I'm like, man, I was healing myself from seeing my mama get beat, seeing my mama neck get cut. I was healing from seeing my partner be with me one day, dead the next day, and we were supposed to meet up. I was healing from getting shot at. You know what I mean? Almost losing my life the other day. You know, that's what I was healing from. I was trying to heal myself through drugs with all these different drugs daily. And I didn't realize that until I got out of it. And what made me stop is my wife, to be honest. She said, man, you're a different person when you take these drugs. It was changing my personality. Like drugs do with anybody. Drugs can take a good person and make them a bad person. I mean, that's what the fuck drugs do. So I had to stop, man. I went cold turkey with lean, man, and I was having shakes. I was having withdrawal symptoms. But what kept me going, man, was my wife. I'm not gonna lie, and I feel like that's a big foundation. My wife, she really helped me. She made me want different, made me understand. Like, dang, you got an addiction. You really like doing a lot of drugs. Why do you like doing a lot of drugs? At the time, I didn't know, but I was like, wow, you're right. I do like being high all the time. I need to stop. So what gave me that motivation was want something better. at the time, I didn't know I was taking steps of healing, but I wanted something better. I was coming to understanding who I was more. I was like, damn, I am high all the time. I do need to be sober some more time so I can be in a better understanding of life and watch my surroundings more. You're right. I do need to take care of my body more. I was seeing people at the what's those places, man? Damn, I can't think of those. They take old people nursing homes. I was my wife, she worked at a nursing home and she was telling me all these different diseases and all this stuff these people, well, not diseases, and cognitive problems they was having doing all these different drugs. And I was hearing people doing the same drugs that I was having and they was doing, and they was young, they 30s, 40s. I'm like, ooh, and they can't even brush their teeth right. They can't even sit up right without a machine. They need this. They can't breathe. They taking this many pills already. So it was a more of an understanding like, hey, I know you like to get high. I know you like to have fun. But bro, do you want to be fucked up and have to have to take all these different pills? Gotta relearn how to walk at 30, get your leg cut off or amputated or anything. You want to do that? So it really made me be like, you know what? Let me put down these drugs, man. And it was hard because, like I said, I was doing drugs my whole life. I felt like up to that point.
Yeah, and man, thank God for your wife, and then even you going on that journey because you mentioned about um getting to the place where even where these kids are now because they don't really know who they are, right?
Yeah,
So when you start getting more into discovering who you are as a person, then you can really begin to think about the things that you want or don't want for your life, the things you want to accept or don't want to accept for your life. I've been on this journey, even when I started the podcast or before I started the podcast, which is the being on a self development, getting into personal development. That's what I was trying to say. Personal development and really learning about myself, taking assessments and things like that, to begin to know who I am at my core. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we know ourselves just because we've been with ourselves our whole life. You know what I'm saying? But when we really take the time to really start, asking ourselves the real questions and the deep questions and trying to figure out what those things are, that's when we really realize, like, oh, I didn't necessarily know who I was,
agree.
but now that I do know who I am, I'm able to navigate my life a lot differently, because I understand what I won't accept and what I will accept according to how it affects my life. You know what I'm saying? So I
Huh.
think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's the number one thing, man. Going to that well myself. She probably showed me, but I'm the one who drunk it. I took self accountability, and another thing that really helped me was reading, man. I started reading. I can't skip that. I started reading books like Miseducated Negro by Carter G. Woodson. I started reading books by Anthony T. Browder, the Browder Founders. My fault, Anthony T. I started reading books like by Chancellor Williams, The Destruction of the Black Civilization, and I realized all my actions were already predestined for me to follow by these people who wanted me to destroy myself. So that was another one too, man. Reading, I cannot sleep on that one.
Good. So before we get out of here, I want to say touch on you mentioned a couple of things that you got going on. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the clothing line,
Okay.
and tell us a little bit more about that, and then I definitely want to hear more about the podcast.
Okay, the original people, baby. The original people represent melanated people around the world, united melanated cultures across the globe. We represent all melanated people everywhere. Like I said, we started in 2020, I believe. I'm graduating right now, so all of our clothes are going to be handmade, stitched, and patterned by me. Now, I know everybody because we had a good run year from 2020 to 2023. We was everywhere. Front year, every time people seeing us everywhere, we was going crazy. People like, man, what happened? 24, we disappeared. No, we didn't disappear. We rebranded. We saw that, hey, people are actually supporting us, and we thank y'all, man. We really do. We thank y'all. This is our logo, by the way. And people really were supporting us. So I was like, wow, this clothing brand is not just a, a, a street brand. I said this is really something that people really rocking with us, and they loving the message behind it because it's representing us. So I went to school, and I got the logo trademarked, and I got the name trademarked. We became an LLC. We did a lot this year. We started a business bank account, getting our credit up, man. We're doing so much this year as a business. So even though a lot of people not seeing us, and we're not probably having our website up right now for sales, just know that we're growing and we're building a foundation. And thank y'all. And our clothes will definitely be back on sale around at the end of 2025 and at the beginning of 2026, most definitely.
All right, all right. And so in the midst of that, you guys started your podcast. I think around the same time I started mine. I think maybe a couple years ago.
2021?
Yeah. It's been about
January, we
been
started
about
on
3 years.
January 28, 2021.
I didn't start in January. I think I started in like November or August or something like that. When I started. But I know like this episode is 141. I think this episode is. So
Woo, woo.
I've been rocking a little bit. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you got them, bro. Hey, we only got 94. We only have 94. Leading Lineage podcast. We are the #1 podcast for individuals who are seeking to end generational dysfunction. We talk about how important families are, and we talk about how getting families are, and we talk about how knowing yourself is the most important thing so you can get your families together. But we've started, me and my cousin, it's almost our 3rd year in January. We started in the basement, man, and now we have a studio and a team rocking behind us with it, man. So we're doing very well. You can follow us on YouTube, and man, it's great, man. What I love about it so much is because me and Cuz, it's my second cousin. Me and Cuz are so different, but it's like yin and yang, and it makes it perfect. I come from the streets, single parent home. He comes from sports. He had his mom and dad at home. And, we took 2 different routes, but we end up coming at the same route because we were trying to heal ourselves and fix our family as well. So that's what the podcast about, man. We go on all type of stuff, man. I be talking crazy sometimes too on there, man. So, it ain't just, it's fun. It's entertainment too, man. I entertain you, man. I end up talking crazy, get some stuff off my chest.
All right, I love it. I love it, man. I want to say thank you, man, so much for
Hey,
being
hold on.
on.
Can I talk about BMG for like 5 seconds real
Oh
quick?
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So
Oh,
definitely, I want you to talk about that because that's another thing that we have in common. Is being mentors.
yeah.
So I'm a part of Champs mentoring group, mentoring program here in Chicago. And so definitely, yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, BMG. I can't forget BMG, baby. Black Man's Group here in Indy. We help from the youth to the elderly. We help everybody. We have a lot of programs almost every month through the year. Whether we're tailgating, whether we're feeding the homeless, whether we're feeding the elderly, whether we're giving out book bags and stuff for the kids, or helping a father who needs to always have Pampers, because we know how it is for people who have Pampers or clothing, who need to something to give to the child so they be able to see their child. We know how that is. Only thing it takes for you to be is the black man. We're looking for more black man. We definitely need more positive black man here in Indy. If BMG blackmansgroup.com, I think it is. Don't get me quoted on that though, because I don't know if that's right. But yeah, we definitely are a great organization. A lot of great people in there, and we all brothers. Like for instance, my brother Micah. Shout out to brother Micah. He the one helping me with my clothing line, helped me get in school and all that. So it's definitely not only a program not only a group of men who help outside and be activists through the youth to the elderly, but we be brothers to each other.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. I definitely appreciate that. And that's you guys are located in Indianapolis,
Yep.
Indiana. Because I know you said Indy, but everybody we know what it means, but everybody
You're
might not
right.
know what you're referring to.
You're
So
right.
definitely
You're right.
that's in Indianapolis,
Indiana.
Indiana. So make sure that you guys, if you're in that area, definitely check them out. And I wanted to just say, man, I again proud of you guys, you know, because I was watching you guys on the podcast, and you guys been doing like some in person recordings too, right? With
Yeah,
the
we did
audience and stuff.
lives. We did 2 lives. Yeah, we did lives. We had our family reunion. We had a big project this year. We done a lot this year as a podcast. We had 2 lives. We fed everybody. We had a couple pop-up shops. Man, we just been enjoying the moment. We've been in a public speaking. We just went to go speak today at a school. We've been everywhere, man. It's been a great feeling, man, and I really appreciate it. That's why I'm saying, man, hey, we got to get you on there.
Yeah,
ASAP,
yeah.
come to Indianapolis, because we can't do it like this. We don't got everything hooked up like you do. So we do ours like more into with people. Man, you come to Indy, man. You let me know if you ever come to
Yeah.
Indy. You let me know, and I'm gonna figure out how I can fit you into the schedule.
Right, right. No, we'll make it happen because I'm right in Chicago, so that you are only a couple hours away. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So we'll just make it a day, but we'll work it out. We'll work it out. So again, man, I want to say thank you for being on. I want you to have the last word. I want you to leave us with a word of advice, information, inspiration, however you feel. Definitely leave us with your social media handles and where we can find more about you and the podcast and all of that. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about that. To my listeners, man, make sure that you guys, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys go check me out at my main website, which is the dealhealfulfill.org. Again, that's dealhealfulfill.org, because my mission, as well as the podcast mission, is to help people to deal, heal, and fulfill, to deal with their problems, to heal from the pain, and to fulfill their purpose. So again, go to dealhealfulfill.org in order to find out more information about what I have going on, and also be to find out information about how to book me to come out to be a speaker or a workshop facilitator at your school or organization. So make sure you guys go to the website to check that out. Also, make sure you guys go to ebooks by ejames.com, and where you can find some ebooks that I've written, including the core four, which is the 4 core values that every daughter should get from her father, which is a objects of conversation that we use on the Girl Dad Discussions podcast. Also, there's Males to Men ebook, and there's a one ebook that I'm very proud of called "Forgiving Me: The 4 Steps to Self Forgiveness." So make sure you guys go to ebooks by E James in order to check that out. Also, check out our inspirational t-shirt line, deal2healtees.com. Again, that's deal, the number 2, healtees.com. Put some inspiration in your situation. Wear an inspirational tee and be inspired all day. Make sure you guys go and check that out. And last but not least, over the last couple of years, I've been blessed to be a part of an organization called the Forgiveness Mission. And one of the things that we do, we have free virtual workshops every quarter, I mean, every other month of the year. And so whenever you listen to this, either one just ended or one is coming up. And we talk about everything surrounding forgiveness, forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, what it means to forgive, and how forgiveness benefits all of us as a people. So make sure you guys go to forgivenessmission.com in order to register for our next free virtual workshop, or you can go to Eventbrite and look up the forgiveness workshop sponsored by the Forgiveness Mission.com in order to sign up. Again, the workshop is absolutely free, but the information is priceless. So make sure you guys go there and check that out. So, Taron, once again, let me say thank you so very much for coming on, for sharing your story and your inspiration. I want you to have the last word, so the floor is yours.
I'm gonna start off with you can find me. You can find me at Taron Schumpert on Facebook. Lead Your Lineage on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook too. I think we got a little Facebook too. Yep, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Yeah, and on YouTube. Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to Lead Your Lineage. And man, I say my lasting words is I want to make sure people really emphasize in getting to know who you are, doing what you want to know, doing what you want to do. Once you get to know who you are, it opens up doors to filling out your destiny. When you get to know who you are, everything else comes forward. You don't need that. You don't have to have the answers to anything, but you have to know who you are in order to move forward. That's it. Know thyself.
All right. We can't end it no better than that. To my listeners, thank you guys once again for tuning in to the Deal to Heal with E. James podcast, where our mission is to help you to deal, heal, and fulfill, to deal with your problems, to heal from the pain, and to fulfill your purpose. Until next time, you guys be blessed.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Deal to Heal with E. James podcast. Remember to listen, like, subscribe, and share. This episode has been brought to you by Deal to Heal Teas. Put some inspiration in your situation. Wear an inspirational tea and be inspired all day. Let's go to dealtohealteas.myshopify.com. Remember, our mission is to help you to deal, heal, and fulfill. Deal with your problem, heal from the pain, and fulfill your purpose. Thanks for listening.